Rars and stuffs. And a sleepy sib. Because it wouldn't be a stream day without a sleepy sib. How's it going, everybody? I'm gonna actually look at this in a little bit. What do I need for this? Oh yeah, quest. Well, it's constantly near death. That should be good. Increased boost strike damage. Yeah.
We do have things. Filters.
Anywho. Hey, cutscene.
I still can't get over what we saw happening outside the starship.
Yeah, our planet's really not doing too hot right about now.
I've only ever seen Rena from the surface of Dana, so I figured it was just another round planet like ours. Still though, I never would have imagined Rena actually looked like that. And what's the deal with that giant flower coming out of it?
It probably
Beats
was
me.
originally
I have
around
absolutely
planet.
no clue. It's so surreal. It looks like a broken egg or something.
Rena and Dana. We were taught that both worlds were spherical bodies that floated amongst the stars in the heavens. But to think that they lied to us not only about the Sovereign and the Crown contest, but also the form of our own planet.
Dohalim.
Okay, who's the wise guy that summoned us here?
Someone
Yeah,
formidable
who's
enough
the
to bring our
wise
starship
guy?
along with us.
They must be here somewhere. Let's find them.
I have to hit the bathroom. Probably a couple more minutes regardless.
I know there's a scene, but I want to run around the edge of this real quick. Nope. No interact.
That beam of light joining Dana and Rena. It was the Renan side that it first came from, right?
That's what it looked like. And then the
They
Danon
summoned
side
you. Are they
responded.
really that wise? Maybe they
Perhaps
knew
it
what they
was
were
some
doing.
kind of directive from the Renan homeworld to reawaken the Wedge and Lenegus.
Which would mean that whoever's behind all this is on Rena after all. But what are they after? Is it really worth going through all this trouble just to steal Dana's energy?
Yeah, how goes the day
Try
for
to
everyone?
Stay calm. With so many factors we don't understand, dwelling on it won't get us anywhere. What is it?
No, it's just... Zephyr once told me the same thing. So much for me making progress, huh?
You made it this far, didn't you? You notice something, you change it. That's all anyone can do. But you can't stand still in the meantime.
Ha! Joke's on you. I can stand still anytime. Ooh. Lower, central, or upper? I want to know which one I need to go to so I can go to the last. Oh, well. Guess that makes it simple. Can't go to lower or upper. Central it is. Short. I slept until 1:30. Fair. I also slept until like half an hour before the stream.
This place
Kind
looks
of been
a lot
blah
like that
all
room
week.
we saw back in the Forbidden Zone.
Huh? What's that? It's one of those!
A red woman in disguise. Or is this their true form?
So it was a trap?
It doesn't look like it can move. Tell me, are you the one who brought us here?
It talks via
That is
flashes.
correct.
Ow.
It is unusual for me to have unexpected guests these days.
It can talk.
Iance actually around. I haven't heard her speak yet. She had to step away.
What are you?
Hevrect 35.
Hevrect 35. Is that your name?
Correct.
What is this place? No, wait, before that, just what exactly are you? Are you somehow associated with the Red Women?
Before I answer, I have a question for you. How did you all arrive in this sector?
We did not come to this place by choice. Our ship was brought here against our will, by a group of red women who can shift into the same form as you.
In that case, we can assume my brethren who serve the Great Spirit have deemed you all to be a threat most grave.
What do you mean, serve? Are you saying there really is someone more powerful than the Red Women, pulling their strings?
Yes.
What did you do to us?
I examined your bodies. You have not been harmed in any way.
That's good.
Identifiers detected. The Sovereign and Maiden are among you. However, you aren't under its control. I see why they viewed you as a danger now.
Oh, goody. More riddles.
Do you think we can trust this thing?
Like it or not, it may be our best chance at a ticket out of here. Let's at least hear it out.
Okay.
I shall now answer your questions. We are Helganquil. The red women you encountered previously are a form of disguise we employ from time to time, but not our true form.
Helganquil?
You are on Dake Phasol, a celestial base which drifted here by accident. The will of Rena's great spirit no longer reaches us here. Since my sudden separation from the Great Spirit's influence, I have used any and all means to extend my lifespan. As I have done so, I have also set out to monitor and research Rena and Dana from this position.
A question. What is this great spirit of which you speak? Is it something that rules over your kind?
It's the
Correct.
will of the
The
astral
great
energy.
astral spirit
Yeah.
is a large mass of astral energy that fills all of Rena, one with its own will, a voice we cannot refuse.
A voice? Just like Dana.
The voice of the great spirit speaks to our hearts directly, and we have served it without question throughout the ages.
Does that mean it was controlling your minds? Wait a second. Could this great spirit be the true sovereign of Rena?
The true ruler of Rena. It could be the same thing that's controlling Volron.
Wait, back up. You're telling us this great spirit of yours is the one that ordered you things to harvest the astral energy from Dana? I'm not sure I believe that.
Why not?
This is where you have trouble believing,
the
Lo?
will of Dana back in the Wedge, and in the Forbidden Zone on Lenegus. If Dana has a will of its own, I don't see why Rena wouldn't.
Maybe not, but think about what you're saying. If Dana has a will like Rena, then that would mean that we've been controlled by the voice of Dana this whole time, just like these things.
Dana's will hasn't been forcing us to do anything.
Yeah, but
Let's assume that what Hevrect 35 claims is true, and that we are indeed cut off from both planets. Even if we had previously been under the control of Dana's will, we would have noticed now that we are disconnected.
Your fear is not based in logic. The voice of Dana is much smaller and quieter compared to that of Rena's Great Spirit. Rena's astral energy is amassed at its center, whereas Dana's is shared among all its constituents. So thinly is that energy spread that it cannot coalesce and formulate a will. Our findings here indicate as much.
Which explains why we felt its will where we did. The Wedge and Lenegus are where so much of that energy had been accumulated.
The Great Spirit's desire is to consume all astral energy, and the pursuit of that desire is why you see Rena in its current state. As a result, it has turned its attention toward Dana.
Is that why the crown contest is necessary? So that the Great Spirit can feed off of Dana?
Indeed, and it was to that end that we Helganquil devised the crown contest. Had the initial spirit channeling from 300 years ago succeeded, all of Dana's astral energy would have been seized.
But the ceremony
Well, it's a good thing that didn't work,
Lenegus was
then, isn't
severely
it?
damaged, and you lost both the Sovereign and the Renasalma.
Correct. A change in plan was required to ensure the spirit channeling success. However, recreating the Renis Alma required a vast amount of energy. That is why we turned to Dana.
So that was the real purpose behind the crown contest. An efficient means to harvest the necessary energy from Dana.
This is all happening because of me.
No, not
Nevertheless,
because of you.
You still haven't answered one of Alphen's original questions. Just why have you brought us here to your base, Hevrect 35?
First, it was to confirm the identities of you, my unexpected visitors. Second, it was to ascertain whether you would be likely to accept my request.
A request? But what could someone like you want us to...
I wish for you all to slay the Great Spirit.
We'll get around
I'm
to it.
sorry, did you just ask us to kill your master?
I did. It is in your best interest that you do so, I might add.
What makes you say that?
Continue doing the thing you were gonna do.
Lenegus has entered the final stage of the spirit channeling plan. As we speak, Dana's energy is being harvested en masse and transmitted to Rena. If nothing is done about the Great Spirit, it will not be long before all is lost.
You're saying the destruction we saw earlier is just the beginning? That...
We won't let that happen.
Why do you want us to kill the Great Spirit so badly? Is it to save our world? To free you, Helganquil, from under its control? Why?
No. My primary concern is validating our findings and analysis, which have taken many years to realize. As such,
I can
it is
appreciate
my desire
wanting to
see
do
how
something
your
for science.
actions impact and change these systems. However, I will not deny that vengeance also plays a part.
Vengeance? For what?
In spite of our long service to the Great Spirit, our species is on the brink of extinction.
You mean... you're dying?
That would be what those words
At
mean.
this
Yes.
stage, it would be wise for you to talk with the others. Ask them what you need to know. Once you have your answer, return to me. If you agree to help, I shall fix your ship.
Others? Just how many of you are there?
I I am the only Helganquil who inhabits Dake Faisal.
Hey! Hey!
It's no use. I think it's done talking to us. Let's take a look around.
Find the others. Might be able to go to the upper and lower floors now.
You can't seriously
Or
be
we can
buying
just get another
anything that creature
cutscene.
told us, right? I mean, it's practically blackmailing us into doing its dirty work.
To be honest, the conversation went on for so long, I'm not sure I understood all of it. How about you, Dohalim? Were you
That was
able to
one of the
follow
shorter
everything?
conversations.
At the very least, everything it said about the Renan Great Spirit adds up. At the end of the day, this whole chain of events comes back to astral energy.
Because why wouldn't
That being
it?
said, had we not previously encountered the will of Dana, I suspect I would find its story much more difficult to believe.
The spirit of Rena wants to see Dana completely destroyed.
But why? Astral energy is supposed to be a force that creates and shapes the world.
It's
doesn't matter.
hungry, damn it.
I don't care if we're up against an entire world or what its game is. We're not going to let it destroy Dana.
Right.
There is one other thing that concerns me. How the Great Spirit, the Helganquil, and the Crown Contest are all part of a centuries-long plan is clear enough. But what about the Renans? How do they factor into all this?
That's a good question.
Now that you mention it, and all that talk, Hevric 35 never even brought up the Renans once. And as for the Helganquil, we never did find out just what they are either.
Maybe it had a reason for keeping its silence. Or perhaps there's even more going on. Maybe the others will shed more light on the matter.
Yum, 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 yum.
Let's find out.
So, upper or lower?
Let's start with the upper.
Upper it is.
What's wrong?
Just if I hit the right buttons. Been running around with Dohalim for a while.
Good choice. Nothing here.
Nope. Except quite the view.
It's quite the view.
Okay, had to look up. Nobody ever looks up.
I think that's a bit of an exaggeration.
Nobody ever looks up. It's a lower... Okay, it wants us to go northward, so southward first. More sciencey stuff. Looks the same as the Forbidden Zone on Lenegus,
Yeah.
which, you know, goes along with the Helganquil saying, yep, they did it. They orchestrated all this.
Who are they?
The others.
What is it?
Oh, my apologies. It's just been so long since I've seen any humans from the outside world.
Are you a Renan?
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
I guess so.
Odd way of saying
The
it.
Overseer told us to answer any questions you might have. Whatever you want to know, we'll tell you as much as we can. But be quick. Our subjects are undergoing a dramatic shift that we don't want to miss.
Huh.
What a weird guy.
He must have meant Hevrecht 35 when he mentioned that overseer.
And what was that about subjects? You don't think he meant Dana and Rena, do you?
I think he did.
There isn't anyone else we can talk to. I guess we should ask around here.
Three? Yeah, 3.
Do you know anything about a spirit channeling plan?
If
Nope.
you mean the first plan from 300 years ago, then yes. Do you know what its main objective was?
Yes. It was to use Lenegis to siphon off Dana's astral energy and send it to Rena.
Exactly. However, there were 2 problems we had to consider. First was how to collect and send such a large quantity of astral energy without it becoming sentient.
You failed that one.
Second, we had to figure out how to convert Dana's energy so it would be compatible with Rena.
I take it the solutions to those problems were to use the wedge for the collection, and then the Sovereign and Maiden to convert the energy.
We have a winner! However, the first plan failed when the Sovereign was overwhelmed and became frenzied. The reason for that is because the Maiden lost control. I'm told he slaughtered many Renans in Helganquil that day. For the next plan, we tried to recreate the Renis Alma, but we didn't have nearly enough of the other non-dark astral energy types. To amend that, we set our sights on Dana, and implemented a system whereby we could extract energy from it.
Hence the energy
And the crown
element
contest
focused
began.
ones.
Yep.
Correct. Since the Maiden had been the failing point in the previous plan, it was decided to replace her role with machinery to avoid further mishaps. A new Sovereign had to be made as well. It was such tremendously difficult work, its success was dubious. But from the look of things, it would appear such worries were unfounded.
It only took, 300 years.
So that's what the purpose of that room we found in the Forbidden Zone was.
What about the flower that sprouted from Rena?
Flower? Oh, that thing. That's the physical manifestation of all the astral energy that's been harvested from Dana. As I'm sure you've noticed, it's quite a lot of energy. At this point, it's likely that it's become physically integrated with Rena's planetary structure.
Hevrecht 35 mentioned that the spirit channeling plan is entering its final stage. Is that true?
It is. I never thought I would live to see the day with my own eyes, and yet here we are. Are we done talking now? If it's all the same to you, I'd really rather not miss anything that's about to happen.
For science.
He talks like the potential end of the world is just another day on the job.
You've got to remember that these guys have been living alone up here for a long time. Who knows what shape their minds are in?
3 people's enough for a company, right?
You're doing a lot of info dump at the end of the game, though.
Can we talk to you for a few minutes?
Sure. It's going to be a while before the 2 planets undergo their next shift, so I can talk until then.
Please, tell us what you know about the Helganquil.
You mean the Overseer species? I can't say I know much about them.
Well, for starters, where'd they come from?
Where else? From Rena, obviously.
They live,
From
I guess,
Rena?
at his office.
Wait, are you telling us those things live right alongside the Renans down there?
Heavens,
Of course
no.
not. There's really no such thing as Renans in
Oh.
the first
What?
place.
Excuse me?
Oh, I thought the Overseer explained everything.
Apparently not.
What?
Please, tell us more.
Well, in a nutshell, the Renans were originally created from Danans by the Helganquil.
What? Oh, that explains why they look very human. Right? They look like Danans.
But if that's true, then that would mean there aren't any people on Rena.
Well, Genquil is
There
Earth
aren't,
peoples.
but there are Helganquil. That's what the name literally means in their language. People of Rena.
Well,
What need could they possibly have to create a whole new race of people?
It was a way to bolster their dwindling workforce. I trust you're aware that the Helganquil are on the verge of extinction, yes?
Huh.
In essence, we were created to carry on their work for the Great Spirit after they all die. They gathered Danans who had an affinity for astral arts and proceeded from there. That's why we, as their descendants, can all cast arts, albeit to varying degrees.
Let me get this straight. Are you saying Renans were originally created from Danans that the
Yes.
Helganquil kidnapped?
Wait, that explains why almost nobody can use Astro Arts on Dana now.
Yeah.
Helganquil technology is truly amazing. The way they alter their bodies is far less invasive than your conventional surgeries. They have these tiny machines that are practically invisible, which they insert into their bodies and...
Enough! You needn't tell us anymore.
How can you speak so calmly about all of this?
I guess I can see how, when viewed in a certain light, their ways may sound grotesque. But if you ask me, I think they ultimately did us a favor. They saved us from crawling the earth in ignorance. If it meant their hands had to get a little dirty in the process, then so be it. Anyway, the Helganquil are the real Renans. Personally, I don't think it's such a big deal. They're also mostly the ones behind what you see going on between the two planets. I think that covers
Try
just
explaining
about
that to
everything
everyone,
worth
though.
knowing.
It's highly
I see.
unlikely that humans would
Thanks
evolve
for filling
twice.
us in.
Yeah. That's
Did
what
you
I'm
really
thinking
expect us to
too.
believe that Renans never truly existed? How absurd.
Dohalim.
Considering
Just when I
they're
think we're
the
getting to the
twin
bottom of
planets,
it
though,
all,
it wouldn't have been
some new
surprising
revelation smacks us in the face.
if there was some shared
And
ancestor
let's hope this
between
is
the
our
two,
last revelation for a while.
even without this being a thing.
Yeah. I mean, there's also... It's just how plot makes. Like, humans make human media.
Yeah.
Big shocker. Like, there's no reason that elves, dwarves, so on and so on, look very humanoid. But, like, if they're going to go through the
Have you guys lived
explanation
up here in
trouble...
Dig Phasal with Hevric 35 for a long
Okay.
time?
Yes.
That's
I
a
couldn't
thing.
tell you off the top of my head just how long it's been, though. We regularly go into stasis, so our sense of time has gotten rather out of whack over the years.
Why are you all even here in the first place?
Originally, this station was where we worked to perform maintenance on Lenegus from the outside.
We heard that the facility ended up in its current location due to an accident.
Oh, it was terrible. Apparently there was some kind of accident, and when help never arrived, they presumed the entire facility had been destroyed.
And you've been working for Hevric 35 ever since?
Well, at first we thought that there was nobody else inside the facility, but then it turned out the Overseer was there all along.
What do you mean?
The Helganquil have the technology to cloak themselves around us Renans. As long as they don't do anything obvious, a Renan won't see one, even if it's right in front of them.
Which would explain why Shion and I failed to notice the Red Women previously. Do they employ an astral art of some sort?
I haven't been able to scientifically confirm it for myself, but from what I understand, the type of cloaking they use is primarily achieved through mechanical means. In
Wonder what kind
addition,
of mechanical
they
means.
also used hypnosis devices and information control to get us to do what they wanted without being detected. It's a pretty sophisticated operation, especially since it avoids any unnecessary conflict. I have to imagine that's how Lenegus is still run.
But aren't the Helganquil themselves controlled by the Great Spirit? If so, why aren't
Because they're
Renans affected
Danans.
by it in the same way?
The Great Spirit's mind control only works on Helganquil, so they had to employ other means to manipulate us Renans.
You act like this didn't affect you personally. If I was you, I'd be mad as hell
Had
at
a
their
lot of time
deceptions.
to get over it.
I mean, sure, I was surprised when I first found out about it, but it happened so long ago.
Hevric 35 has clearly ceased concealing itself, though. Why is that?
Who can say? My guess is it just got bored, or maybe even a little lonely.
Don't you want to go back home to Rena or Lenegus? Our ship is going to be fixed pretty soon. You could ride with us.
No way. If we went back after knowing the truth, they'd either just brainwash us or purge us outright. After all this time, There's nothing to be gained from going back. We've all agreed it'd be
Well, at
best
least
to
she's smart
simply
enough for
stay
that.
here and watch everything unfold instead.
I want to know
Things are
about
going
the
just fine with the
nanomachine
overseer.
operations.
Not that it'll be around much longer. It can't extend its life any further. That said, I'm sure it's pleased to see the final stage of the plan before it passes on, though.
Thank you for answering our questions.
It feels like our whole world has been turned upside down. Is there anything we know that's still true at this point?
Things on Dana
Seriously,
generally.
I'm still trying to process the fact that we Renans were created by the Helganquil, let alone the Sovereign and Maiden stuff.
Explains why Boron was able to imitate Renan so
I
well.
know all of this is a lot to believe and take in, but I think it's fair to say that we've found the answers we've been looking for. Does everyone agree?
Agreed. Though I'll admit that I never expected it to all boil down to Rena's great spirit being behind everything.
Everything that's happened, everything we've endured, it's
Looks
all
like we
because
solved
of
the mystery
astral
game.
energy.
And to get that energy, the Great Spirit took control of the Helganquil. Then the Helganquil created the Renans, who went on to invade and rule over the Danans.
Plus,
he needs a
the
Harvard
reason the
Central
Great
program.
Spirit can't directly control the Renans as well is likely because they were originally Danans all along.
Either way, I think it's fair to say we've all had a lot to take in at once. Maybe too much, even. We should probably take it easy and rest our minds a bit. Why don't we all take
Yeah,
some time to
Dolan
think
does
things
not
over
seem to be taking that
before
idea
we
too
decide
well.
on our next move?
That's a good idea, Cosera. If the Renan Great Spirit really is behind all this, then we've got a really big fight ahead of us. Because it's not just Dana on the line, but Rena too. If we're going to do this, we need to be completely sure of ourselves. So let's go ahead and break off for now. We aren't in any immediate danger, so we should be okay. You sure you don't want to be alone right now?
I could ask you the same question.
I figured I'd get all my thinking in while walking around and checking up on everybody.
I'll go along with you. I'm interested to hear what's on everyone's minds, too.
That's very neat.
Sounds good. Let's go find them.
Oh no, the
Everyone's
party.
just gone their own way, huh?
Yeah, let's hit up each spot.
Finding one's own footing.
Everything we thought we knew. It was all just a fabrication that the Red Women, that the Helganquil made up.
Right. Assuming we can believe anything that Hevric 35 has told us, that is.
I don't see why
Well,
not.
if the names are anything to go by, it's possible the Helganquil could be behind the fruits of Helgen too.
Probably.
But if Hevric 35 was telling the truth, and this was all just one massive lie, does that mean everything we've done up until now has been pointless?
No, I don't think so. Or at least I hope not. I think it just means we've lost our foothold for now. That's all.
Really? Well then, if we've lost it, I guess we'll just have to find another. All of us together. And if we can't find one, then we'll make a new one. End of story.
Make one, huh? I see. Right then. Count me in.
I thought you were going to bow out of it at this point, Alphen. Just seemed like the thing you would do. He's like, oh yeah, nope, time to quit. You'll lose some treasure due to your inventory and our wallet being full. Are you sure?
We haven't been using happy bottles. I say we do it.
I appreciate the heads up, though. You found me collapsed again and helped me back up? Well, I appreciate it. Thanks to you, I can continue to go about my research.
Oh, it's you two. Does he seem like he's doing any better now?
He who? Oh, you mean Dohalim, don't you?
I know that we're all struggling to wrap our minds around it all, but he looked like he was taking it really hard earlier.
What do you think about everything we've learned? About the Renans and the Great Spirit and all that?
On some level, I'm not even really sure what to think, to be honest. I mean, the Great Spirit is like a huge natural disaster, but with a mind and will of its own. But if that thing's hellbent on trying to destroy our planet, then the only thing left for us to do is stop it. As for the Renans, I suppose my feelings on that are a bit more mixed.
How so?
Coexistence between Danans and Renans in Menancia is still a work in progress. In my case, I think that's partly because deep down, I was still on guard around Renans. So, to be told that they're like us, that they're actually just like us is, well...
Yeah.
I guess it's a little deflating, to be honest.
You kept a pretty level head.
You mean about the Renans? At the end of the day, the Helgan Quill and the Great Spirit are the ones who are responsible. But at the same time, I realize that not every Danan is necessarily going to believe that either.
I know you're already aware of this, but the list of grievances the Danans have against the Renans is long, and understandably so. And if people then find out that they're all actually one and the same, yeah, I don't think they're going to take to it too kindly.
Even just among the Danans, I'm sure there'll be some who emerge with power and some who won't. I think if we can find a way to get rid of that imbalance, then we'll be in a truly good place.
Well, first we can try to figure out
A
what to
drink
do
in
about
these
the
trying
existing
times.
conflicts we have.
Yeah. It'd be nice if one day people could learn to get past their hatred like Rinwell did.
It's no small task. We can't pretend like the past didn't happen and ask people to forget their
Thanks
very
for the
real
hydrate.
pain and suffering.
Thanks for hydrate.
Right. Everybody has their reasons for feeling the way that they do. But if we just keep yelling at each other about it, we'll never move on. In a worst-case scenario, it might lead to even more people getting killed.
And we all have to figure out how to meet halfway. Not just that, but to also embrace each other's pain, in a sense.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
It's true. Everybody has their own scars, their own trauma. The first step to healing those wounds is to put aside that hatred. It won't be achieved through reasoning, but I think it's a good first step, if nothing else. And now, I think I see a way to move forward. But to do that, first we need to make sure our planet isn't going to get wiped out.
Slightly important objective, yes.
So would it mean the modifications are required for Danans to be able to use dark astral energy? Or is there just latent potential there that hasn't been drawn out?
They probably do have modifications for that, yeah.
I don't think we see dark on any of the Danans.
Yeah, and even if it did, then it's probably a DLC because canonically they can't. Danans are restricted to light and Renans are restricted to dark.
Yeah. Well, the DLC, we've already seen all the skills we get from those.
I don't think we look closely at it, but yeah.
Well, the others are buffs,
Mm.
not skills.
Okay, so I guess we saw it.
You both seem awfully calm.
Only because after everything we've seen, we don't have the energy to keep being shocked.
How are you holding up, Rinwell? That whole talk about the Renans looked like it shook you up a bit.
Yeah. I get this sinking feeling whenever I remember how Danan mages like my family were persecuted and died out. And now, I finally know why that is. But I was thinking, if Renans end up living together with Danans again, then mages won't be such an unusual thing to see on Dana anymore, right? I know it's not as simple as all that, but Danans probably won't be so quick to let their guards down. And there might be Renans who still act superior because of their arts.
It wouldn't
Might.
surprise me. 300 years of bad blood and prejudice isn't going to be an easy thing to overcome.
Especially with hierarchy
Yeah.
of power strength.
I know firsthand
being in
just how much
Renans.
hatred can take hold in your heart once you let it in. But even so, I was still able to change. And if I can change, so can anyone else. So I was thinking maybe, I don't know, I could use my position as both a Danon and
very
a mage to
optimistic
help bring
viewpoint.
both sides together.
Renwell.
That great spirit worries me too, though. Dana's will feels so warm and inviting. So why is Rena's will trying to destroy our entire planet?
It's hungry.
Now that you mention
It's
it,
hungry.
Everett 35 and the other scientists here never really brought that up. Maybe they don't know either.
Maybe. But regardless, at the end of the day, Dana's still our home. There's no way we can let it be destroyed.
We won't. We'll keep it safe no matter what.
Okay.
Well, we probably should talk to minor NPCs too.
They don't want anything to do with us.
I just...
These are Dake Phasal construction plans showing a central elevator shaft and multiple circular areas. Did the Renans on Lennigus lose... I don't like it, but I guess in a certain sense it could be... correct. Did they lose control of their Zeugles? Did they let loose their control? Or did they lose control of their Zeugles? I suppose it's plausible, but with all the astral energy flowing through the place. In which case, the arts that were keeping them in line must have been disrupted. Okay, so it was the wrong one. Got it. I doubt it was otherwise the work of the Great Spirit. I agree. It's hard to believe that such a massive consciousness could deliberately conceive and then carry out such a localized phenomenon. The spirit channeling plan will soon finally conclude as the Overseer reaches the end of its lifespan. After going into hibernation countless times to date, it's been a long time coming, to say the least. What are we going to do once the project is over and there's nothing left for us to research? We'll always keep observing as long as there are things out there worth watching. Once our time is up, whenever it is, we shall return to nothing. It's a fitting fate for this station and its inhabitants after being cast out into the cosmos. Solution is obvious: enslave all humans. Then they will be equals.
No.
Not the most far-fetched solution I've heard.
Would you follow this as worse or better than total annihilation?
Enslavement, at least they're alive and have a chance to rebel eventually.
Not familiar with the idea. Fate worse than death, then are you?
I am, but simple enslavement doesn't imply all the torture that goes with it. Or doesn't necessarily include all the torture that some people attach to it automatically.
It's still fundamentally bad, but...
Yes, it is still fundamentally bad. I'm not going to argue that point. That Overseer will, in all likelihood, remain with us for the time being, as its vital signs continue to show us stable. Despite their appearance, their biology is surprisingly close to us. Isn't that just utterly fascinating? It's still kind of expected, considering the two were called the twin planets.
Yeah.
Oops. I wonder, are Danons still not given surnames of their own? As crude of a tactic as it is, it's nonetheless an effective subjugation tool. But I suppose we aren't all that different. Though grandiose sounding, ours are simply a means to identify an individual's formative background. I'd be a great slave owner. I'd love a pool table in the break room and do pizza Fridays. Barring the unforeseen developments that took place on Lennigus, everything has gone quite smoothly. I feel off about talking about being a slave owner. It does not feel like a... I get what the way this game has been going, but still feels yikesy topic-wise. Even if we were to notice such aberrations for ourselves, we would likely ignore them, as it's not our policy as observers to interfere. It seems that when Lenegus was activated, no consideration was made for the safety of those in the residential quarter. Not that it matters. Once the plan is complete, Lenegus will serve no purpose. It's only logical there would be more pressing concerns instead. Measures astral energy fluctuations in Dana and Rena. The Overseer must be so pleased to be able to witness the transformation of Dana before it passes on. No, it's actually trying to stop it.
I apologize for making you witness that.
You mean hearing the origins of the Renans?
Indeed. It's shocking to have so many things I thought to be indelible fade away in mere seconds.
Even I'm still not sure everything we've heard here is actually true.
Let's not delude ourselves. If what we've heard is a lie, it's a rather elaborate one. I can only imagine that you must have been constantly feeling like this, ever since your memory returned, Alphen. And you as well, Shion. About your thorns, and being a maiden.
That's just part of being alive, don't you think?
Well, to say
Shit,
the least.
no, that is not something. No! Why is there hockey there? Why is there.
What concerns me is all of the other Renans out there.
When you say the other Renans, you mean the ones that are living on Lenegus or Dana, right?
How do you turn off that setting?
Correct. Even
I
if we
don't
stop
know
the
if you
Great
do.
Spirit from annihilating Dana, core problems will still remain. Putting aside the untold state that Rena may be in, if we do not truly belong there, we will have to think long and hard about where it is that we wish to return to.
So, I guess your only real choices at this point are to either stay on Lenegus or come down to Dana, huh? And right now, Lenegus might not even be a safe option.
And at the same time, Danans are hardly likely to embrace Renans with open arms. If the issue is forced, things could turn dire. There is, after all, 3 centuries worth of hatred to overcome between us. And the victims of our rule
Good job, Butterfly
have
Wing.
absolutely every right to feel animosity towards us Renans. Our own circumstances
Way
as
to
the aggressors
ruin
are
the
irrelevant.
mood.
I didn't expect the former Lord of Menancia to be so down about people reconciling.
Menancia's fate was a stroke of good luck. There had been backlash over how it had been ruled, and I was blessed to have sympathizers among my ranks. Still, even now, there remain ardent dissidents.
But things can still change if you have the right people to help lead the way. Isn't that what you hope to achieve on Lenegus, after this is all over?
Indeed. I have fully accepted the burden of that responsibility. In that regard, I remain determined. On that note, I have something of a favor to ask of you, Alphen.
Oh? What is it?
I wish for you to serve as a mediator so that the Renans can live on Dana peaceably. As the one and only Blazing Sword, I suspect the Danans may listen to what you have to say when problems arise.
And I take it that you'll be the one to represent the Renans?
Yes. I realize that I'm asking quite a lot of you. However, the fact of the matter is that it will take time for Renans to re-enter Danan society without any bloodshed. That is why...
You're the same as ever, Dohalim.
Is it too much?
No, relax. You get so tense and formal when you're asking for a favor. Listen, there's no need for that. We're friends.
You're
Right?
too kind. I can see you were raised well.
That's some high praise,
Friends.
Alphen.
Then I'll ask once again, this time just as friends. Alphen, will you help me?
You don't even need to ask. Of course I will.
Thank you, my friend.
Friend.
I'll be smart about that for a while.
It was a misclick.
Great misclick.
I still can't believe it, man.
You're not the only one still trying
Hope
to
you
make sense
enjoyed
of all
just
this.
watching the game
Believe
for
me.
your section.
Really?
Yes, no
You've
battles.
never
I do
struck me as the
appreciate
type
that.
of guy to get hung up on these sorts of things.
Did you forget what happened back in Thistleum? Once my memories started coming back to me, I felt completely and totally lost.
It was really that bad for you?
Yeah, it was. But thanks to Law and everybody else, I remembered that I still had things out there worth fighting for.
Man, I think you might be a better guy than me, Alphen. All I can remember thinking was, when's this guy gonna get his act together?
Law.
I was too worried about repeating the same mistakes I'd made back with my dad, and running away from the truth. That was no way to live. And I've tried to stay strong, my way. But all this talk about other races and the world ending, if I can be honest with you guys, it's just all too much for me to handle right now.
I know this is going to sound strange coming from me, but maybe the key is not to worry too much about the big stuff right now.
Oh?
I used to worry all the time
Oh.
about my thorns, for
Oh.
obvious reasons, but I never really opened up to anyone about them. And when I realized my visions pointed to a threat that was bigger than me, I didn't know what I should do or who to tell.
Oh.
But that's when I finally got it. You guys were all there for me, to teach me what's really important. I just had to open up and listen.
In other words, if you let the big picture stuff get you all muddled up inside, you'll begin to lose sight of what you really care about. Yeah, I think you're right.
The thing that's most important, what I really care about. All I want to do is protect the people that really matter to me, to fight for them. That's good enough, right?
Nope,
Not
never good
everyone
enough.
is strong enough to fight.
Huh?
It's something your dad told me once when he was still alive. Law, you know you're strong enough to
Hi,
fight.
Zephyr.
And you're strong enough to protect the people you care about. Forget all the big stuff going on. Just don't lose sight of what you want to protect in the first place. Sound good?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it does. It's like a big weight's been lifted off my shoulders. I'll fight to protect the people around me. Just like I always have. I think that's best.
Kind of how he thinks.
Well, it sounds like everyone's learning from their past and using it to create a better future for everyone.
What about you, Shion? How do you feel about the origin of the Renans?
To be honest, I'm not really all that shocked, actually. I mean, I might be a Renan in the literal sense, but I've never really felt like one of them. Right now, it's kind of a mystery.
How do you mean?
Because for a really, really long time, all I ever thought about was how I was going to die. Not if or when, but how. I thought I'd die alone. That fate had me in its steely grip. I would have never imagined that I'd be traveling with someone like you, fighting to save Rena and Dana. I mean,
Yeah, I don't think
how could I
many
have?
would have imagined
It's
this.
been going on for 300 years.
So
All
let's
this
catch people
tragedy
slightly
and
off guard,
destruction.
yes.
When you consider the Helganquil's part in all this, it's been even longer than that. It was Naori's hope that somehow, someone in the future would be able to stop it before it was too late. How it fell on us, of all people, to heed that call is a mystery.
I don't think Naori was hoping that we would just stop
Fate.
the world from getting destroyed.
It's fate.
She considered me, a Danon, as a real person. And she very much cherished her own people, too. I
You
don't
were
think she
her
wanted
own
the world to
people.
be saved, just so they could go back to hurting each other. Oh, maybe this is what she meant.
Huh?
When we were talking to Cosera earlier, about all that stuff like everyone's needing to meet halfway and embrace each other's pain and suffering, she said that the first step down that path was for each of us to put aside our own hatred. That means forgiving other people, even and especially before they forgive you.
Forgiving. So it goes both ways, right?
No, for taking.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't just mean forgiving things that happened in the past either. Conflicts will keep happening. If we have any hope of moving on and building a better future, we have to all learn to forgive each other.
You know, you're right. People can hurt one another without even meaning to. I know that better than most, thanks to these thorns.
It's not going to be easy getting past this pain.
Wait,
but if
what?
we can
It's
do
not?
it,
You
I'm
just
sure
have to tell
there'll
everyone,
come a time when
stop
we can
caring about
all
it.
truly understand
Move on.
each other. I'm there
that
with
easy.
you, Shion. I
Just
too want
flip
to
a
protect
switch.
the world we live in and all the people we care about. I think that's the very least I can do to repay Naori for everything that she did.
Iance was giving me that look of,
I
I'm
want a
flipping my
future
switch
that
to
she would
forgive you
feel
right now.
proud to live in.
No.
And I'm going to fight
Oh.
for it.
Well,
You should
there,
flip that
Savior
switch.
Girl. We're here to save you too, you know.
Yes, I know. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I want to live, and that's the honest truth.
Well, is everybody ready to do what needs to be done?
No.
I am. There's a lot to think about, but at the end of the day, Dana's still in danger.
Yeah, didn't you
I
know
don't
about
care
that one,
who
Jade?
we're up against. We'll kick their ass.
What are your thoughts, Alphen? I want to know what's on your mind, too.
Glad you could make it, though.
Like Law said, if we have to fight the Great Spirit on Rena,
Oh.
then so be it.
You should go back to the factory
It's
then.
trying to rob us of our entire
See if
world.
they can fix that.
And it's going to take not just our home, but all of existence along with it. That alone is enough to make it our enemy.
Gesundheit.
But it's not only that. One way or another, I think beating the Great Spirit is going to be tied to us saving Shion.
And considering that
You're saying
the great
there's a chance?
So you're saying there's a chance?
You're referring to the vision of destruction we all saw in Lenegis, I take it?
Yeah. 3 centuries ago, the astral energy that appeared at the spirit channeling ceremony showed Naori that vision. And to hear Shion tell it, it's the same one that she sees from her own thorns as well.
Indeed. Shion's thorns are comprised of dark astral energy, the one type which we know is native only to Rena. And if Rena's great spirit is what's behind Dana's pending destruction, then...
Shion's thorns are the Great Spirit? It's not actually on Rena like we thought?
We don't know anything for certain. At the very least, though, I think it's possible her thorns are a part of the Great Spirit.
Yeah, it makes sense.
While the main body resides in Rena.
So what you're saying is we just need to destroy dark astral energy
Shion.
altogether.
If these thorns really are a part of Rena's great spirit, I'm going to go over there and give it a piece of my mind and then some.
That's the spirit. Oh, wait.
Poor choice of words much?
Maybe.
The question is, how do we confront it? Suffice it to say, that flower growing out of Rena is enormous, large enough to house the will of an entire planet.
And where
The
there's a
Wedge
will,
and
there's a
Lenegis
way.
were both hard enough for us to overcome in their own right. This is an altogether greater challenge for merely 6.
And we only know about the Thorns connection thanks to Naori.
Hevric 35 has been observing the great astral spirit this whole time. It wouldn't ask us to fight it unless it has a plan of some sort. Let's go see what that is.
Yeah, let's go figure out a plan. And maybe we'll actually make it to Rena sometime today.
Our minds are made up. Let's go give Hevric 35 our answer.
But as it stands, it is our break time. An hour of exposition.
Surprisingly not as information dense as the last one.
Yet. There's still more to come.
They expected us to find what was given to be a lot.
So we will be back in a few minutes. We'll see if Reilus is up for just sitting for an info dump for the next hour. And
He's not super big on combat either. And there's almost definitely going to be dog zoogles. There's always dog zoogles.
yeah, there is always dog zoogles. But yeah, hope to see you all in a few minutes. Going to break. Bye. All right, we return with the pupper.
Hey everyone.
Work.
Work.
We were about to go talk to Hevrect 35 after a word from our party.
So if the Sovereign and Maiden were originally boot-up programs for Lenegis...
Thanks, Drake.
What about now?
Even with the Forbidden Zone in ruins and the Renis Alma stolen, Lenegis is functioning fine. If it needed us before, it doesn't appear to now.
First they lumber you with a position you never asked for.
Oh
then you're
no, Sib
discarded
thinks
like
you're a
you're
monster.
nothing?
Yeah,
Who the hell
Sib
do
does
they
think you're a
they
monster,
are?
Drake.
More importantly, who do they think we are? We might not even factor into their list of concerns.
I just hope everyone on Lenegis is safe.
Worst comes to worst, Lenegis is equipped with a large number of starships the people can escape in. As long as the whole satellite doesn't suddenly explode or something, they should be fine.
Wait, explode?
In any case, if we're truly going to make a difference, it's on Rena we're needed, not Lenegis. The people there will be fine, I'm sure of
I
it.
swear we're gonna pan back to Law. Like, she said something about explode. Oh. I was hoping there'd be more to that. To the central level. Need to disappear shortly, but I had to stay to pay Reilus tax. Scritches.
I need to
Scritches.
disappear shortly, but I had to stay to pay Reilus tax. Scritches.
Yeah, she gets screech. What's over here? Seems to manage Hevrect 35's condition. Lots of vital sign stats are displayed. Let's get this going.
Do
Then
you
I can
have your
scratch.
answer for me?
We want to ask something first. You're asking us to fight
See you
the
in a
entire
bit,
planet.
Jack.
How exactly do you expect us to do that? You must have something up your sleeve, or else you wouldn't put us up to it.
The great astral spirit is an immense being, but its actual will does not run throughout its entire body. Rather, its will is derived from the core, which supports the rest of the body, and is where its strength is most densely concentrated. Therefore, if you destroy the core, the great spirit shall become unable to maintain sentience, and return to being ordinary astral energy.
And how are we supposed to destroy that core?
By using the Renis Alma. You will also need the assistance of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. They are our best tools for suppressing and controlling astral energy. Using their powers, the Maiden shall seal the great astral spirit within her body, and the Sovereign shall wield the power of the Renis Alma to destroy it.
Hold on. That sounds a lot like what Shion described before.
Yeah, killing herself to take out the thorns with her.
She was actually right all along.
By my calculations, your powers combined should be sufficient to destroy the great astral spirit.
Well,
and disperse
that's
its
not an
energy
acceptable
widely
answer.
enough to make it difficult to reform.
What will happen to the Maiden once we manage to beat the great astral spirit?
Any matter contained within the field of destruction shall be erased.
So it really will kill me.
This method is the most simple one available to destroy the great spirit, and is therefore our most reliable option.
What are our other options?
There is little reason to consider alternative courses of action when the most optimal among them is so clear.
You don't get it. I promised Shion that she wouldn't die, that we'd save the world without needing to sacrifice her. We didn't fight this whole time just to give up on her at the very end. If there's any other way to take out the Great Spirit, I want to hear it.
This plan shall lead to the fewest losses in preserving your world. Abandoning it is irrational.
That's...
It is vital that you proceed with this plan. A part of Rena's great astral spirit already resides within her. 300 years ago, the Great Spirit descended upon Lenegis in an attempt to assume direct control of the spirit channeling ceremony. We have reason to believe the Great Spirit left part of itself behind, and that it now resides in the Maiden.
Which would make Alphen's earlier hypothesis correct.
That part inside the Maiden belongs to the core, and can be used by the great astral spirit to revive itself. So long as it remains, it will be all but impossible to fully eradicate the great spirit. That is why
You
it is
weren't
necessary
wrong, Lion.
for it to be vanquished only once it is whole. Without the Maiden's direct control over the great spirit, attacking it is futile and will only serve to strengthen it.
No.
Wait. Naori said that the Renis Alma can suppress the self-realization of astral energy, and that the thorns can be neutralized by placing them in it.
Mm-hmm.
If so, can't the same also be done to the Great Spirit, seeing as the thorns are simply part of it?
Well, can it?
It is true that the Renis Alma is capable of what you suggest, and could contain the great astral spirit.
Yes!
But
However, doing so requires fine control on the level of the spirit channeling ceremony. Considering that the Renis Alma was previously lost when that ceremony failed, I cannot allow it. Its uncertainty is simply too great.
the hell again,
What
Quill.
does that mean for us if you won't allow it?
Your starship will not be restored, and you will all be unable to leave here.
Why you?
Fine then. I'd rather stay here and rot than do it your way.
Alphen?
Whatever we do, if we mess up, Dana's screwed. The Great Spirit will destroy it. If you're fine letting that happen, and we have nothing to gain either way, then I'd rather do nothing. We want to stop Dana from getting destroyed. We want to save it. But not if it means having to sacrifice one of us in the process. If all you're gonna do is sit back and watch us where it's safe, then quit ordering us around and shut up!
Alphen.
What you say is irrational. Be that as it may, I shall accede to your demand.
You'll agree?
I am an observer. The Sovereign, Maiden, and Renis Alma are my species' greatest achievement. I wish to see how well they work against the Great Spirit in light of our demise by its hands.
But what are we supposed to do about the Renis Alma? One of your buddies ran off with it back on Lenegis.
It is likely that the Renis Alma is with the Great Spirit, functioning as a catalyst for it to receive Dana's astral energy.
Oh, good. So it's already there.
So our only option to retrieve it is to head straight for the Great Spirit and take it back?
According to my observations, the astral energy is most densely concentrated in the center of Rena, where the Great Spirit's core is located.
So right in the middle of that giant flower then.
I have one more question. You've said that Rena's great astral spirit is already integrated with the planet. What will happen to Rena once it vanishes?
Without the will of the Great Spirit, Rena is predicted to collapse. Even in such a scenario, the energy will disperse, and the Great Spirit will likely not reform.
So you're saying that even if we manage to beat the Great Spirit without destroying it, we'll still be in danger?
Likely, the collapse will occur in stages. It is recommended that you all escape before the final stage.
Metroid escape sequence.
Yay,
I wish
escape
that thing would
sequence.
tell it to us straight for once.
Havrek 35 and the others have gotten used to hypothesizing from afar is all. Fix our starship. We're going to Rena.
Excellent.
But I want to make one thing clear. We're doing this for ourselves, to protect what matters to us. We're not doing it for your sake, or because you told us to. Remember that.
It knows that
It
your
matters
interests
little to me.
align to us.
The end
Yeah.
result shall be the same. Repair work on your starship has commenced. You'll have to wait until it's finished.
Yeah, I didn't think it would really care.
Man, is it too much to ask for Hevrick 35 to talk like a normal person? I swear I can feel my brain starting to fry after listening to all that complicated stuff.
Don't worry. I think we're mostly done with him. Now all we have to do is rest up and wait. Once the Fall Knights is good to go again, we'll be taking off for Rena right away. Is the Renis Alma really our only hope against
Yeah,
the
we
Great
really
Spirit?
don't see
There has to be another
any or
way,
many others.
right?
Shion's Fire Master Core was able to suppress astral energy to prevent it from gaining sentience, right? Couldn't we make use of that somehow?
I'm not sure. In small doses, maybe. But with the amount of energy we're talking about here...
Back in Calaglia, the Blazing Sword was able to take in a whole spirit vessel's worth of energy. If it has the capacity to manage that, it can do this, right?
Except after it absorbed the energy, it ended up releasing it all moments later, remember? Let's not forget, it nearly killed you. Besides, this is the Great Spirit we're talking about, not a paltry vessel. Even if I could use the Master Core, your body wouldn't be able to take the strain of channeling that much energy.
Hevrect 35 didn't mention it, and it did not seem the type to skimp on details. So assuming it's even possible, the chances are slim to none.
You're probably right.
Yep. Person. It'll take some time to completely repair your starship. I suggest that you all get some rest in the interim.
Yeah,
Rest.
nothing else for us here.
Often I'll probably be fine. He's a
You
gigantic
still
energy
thinking about
converter.
what the scientists told us?
Fine.
About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Danans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do
retirement.
great.
What's that like?
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave
Almost
me an
all the mages.
opportunity to see them in a different light.
Some slipped through.
Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Danans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Danans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more? That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost.
For the future.
Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
If only there
always
was
have
a
home in Menencia,
place like
you
that
know.
that you already had.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Cosera. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before. But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Hey, look, more talking.
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Well, if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle.
Ooh, final
so I wanted to
battle.
apologize while I can.
Apologize? For what?
I was being real stupid before. About whether Dana's will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
I'm confirmed that things are fine.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some
they're
invisible
maturing.
force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I think I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
That's where the scary
Remember how I
part comes
used
in.
to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course.
Wanting to
Because
believe
you were
in
always
something.
on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning, even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dana's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Also, there's the fact that you two are disconnected right now.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dana's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
Well,
This
like
great
you
spirit
said,
is a hive
unless Dana's
mind.
energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
Yeah. Maybe.
Theological
35
discussions.
might know the answer. But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become. So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that
The
with
sense of a great punchinator.
And then their love blossomed.
To be honest,
like an astral
the only
energy
reason I
flower
was suspicious of Dana's will
on a parasitic
well,
planet.
I mean, it mostly was. I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because.
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
No, what were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on!
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were
No,
thinking?
that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
Say it though, for real.
It though, for
That's
real.
Switchblade.
You sure you don't want to get some rest?
Reilus appreciates my smartassery.
I can't. I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Xion?
Same as you. Still trying to absorb everything.
Please get in your predetermined couples. Yep.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dana? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Rena's Alma, there's something I want you to do.
Is this the part where you ask him to kill you?
35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Rena's Alma back, you'll use the blazing sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
Yep.
It's true the blazing sword may not have the strength of the Rena's Alma. But it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious.
I think she's very serious.
Listen, the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. Renans and Danans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes.
Basically have all
I
plans.
promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere.
Can we at least first guess ourselves?
I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got.
Not really room for that.
But if it comes down to it,
How about
I
start
need you to
guessing?
be prepared too.
No.
Oh.
No subsequent equivalents.
1.5 guessing?
Or preceding equivalents.
Oh.
But you should know that I'm
Okay,
not going to give up on you, Xion.
1.9999999999999
until the very end.
It's functionally equivalent to 2 guesses.
Then it would be no because I said no already.
Alphen. Okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Xion.
So it's a promise then?
Diabolus has
Yeah,
issues with that.
It's a promise.
It's a promise. You'll kill me? It's not just functionally equivalent to 2. It is equivalent to
I
2.
remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns
Excuse
made
me?
any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, You didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before. But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
One way or another, I guess.
You think so?
I do, because Shion,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, the couples are set. Off to the races.
Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to Rena, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
Oh, is that
Fighting
all?
for a new future for both Dana and Rena.
Right. We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Repairs on your starship are complete. Everything is in working order.
Is that you, Hevrek 35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Faisal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrek 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Andy.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Also handy.
Should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Yes.
Will all the Helganquil
Jumping
go
is
back
also
to normal
acceptable.
once we defeat the Great Spirit? I
don't
have
take
a
fall
strange
damage.
feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
Hold up, did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life
It's
expectancy.
just shelf life, it'll be fine.
Similarly, the maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
Good life insurance?
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable.
But not impossible.
Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
Because we know how to save and reload.
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, time to get back on the Fall Knights.
So do we finally get to go to Rena?
I have a feeling that the game's ending had to be a little quicker than the... Oops. I think they had to cut the ending a little blunter than they had to. Than they wanted to. Like, I think they wanted to spread this out a little better.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
And I know what you were saying, Drake. It's just... Diabetes readily has problems with these kinds of things. Sometimes.
Ooh, fancy. Well, that was an uneventful landing. It's a bit of a wasteland out here, isn't it?
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
It probably looked a little nicer before.
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Could you not
Then
tell by
this
how
must
hollowed
be the
out it
hollowing.
was?
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dana.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dana is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit
Oh,
took everything.
congrats, Drake.
It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dana, looking for another host.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dana's
Yes.
going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive.
Yes.
It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's
What's
take a
the
look.
naming convention, Drake? Destroyed remnants. Rena.
So this is Rena.
Oh,
This is where everything
special
began.
owls seem to have appeared
Yet
throughout
it's
Dana.
a dead world?
I won't let Dana suffer the same fate, ever.
For your Durgan monotype.
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
What do you mean, what would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
No.
No, I'll pass.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity, Law?
No, because I said I passed.
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of
that
this
makes
one
sense.
for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something.
Aw. Aw.
So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Renis Alma using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Iance had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength, it's that it's sentient too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
Why not?
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in advance. The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shion's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
We might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the Renis Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever. It won't be easy, but it's our only shot. Time to buckle up.
Yay, buckling up.
What's spiritual divides?
Question for you.
Because we need
Let's
more
say,
exposition.
knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, do you really think everything will be that different?
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust to so much. My only worry is if those changes turn out to be merely skin deep.
what do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renan rule. But if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
That's true. Just as bad if the Danans started pressing their own.
Renans, Danans, astral art users, mages. The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different as someone having a musical talent or being good with their hands. Not differences so much as characteristics.
It will take someone in power to set an example. But with time, people will follow. And then, perhaps one day,
There will no longer be any need for the example. It will have become second nature.
That's where we come in. We can set the example. Imagine it. A world
Good idea,
where magic
Reilus.
and astral arts are used to help people. Where that's the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah, you're right, Rinwell. Why wait for somebody else? We can show them ourselves.
You know, I was thinking about all of this exposition about discarding differences and being together. Are you checking? I was thinking about that whole idea of it being seen as...
Oh, nice.
Still no point of no return. Well, like how it's ham-fisted, but when you think about it, the people haven't been taking the hint with more subtle. No offense to anyone.
So there's a quest there. The quests... Huh. There's a couple of quests here.
Are you completing the side quest before we complete the game?
I wanted to actually check for where owls were. I don't know. Because it said special owls have shown up. I wouldn't be sure where to start checking for special owls.
Jade Clan, any ideas?
Imagine being fist-hammed.
I think Poodle senses something. Hey! Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No! I mean, wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renans inside them, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And?
Connect the dots, Law!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
That explains why it's advanced.
But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not hugely. Hey, Cosera, well, I've got you. What's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking maybe meat.
Damn.
Get him, Hoodle.
Oh, what did I do?
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hoodle.
Ow, ow, ow! Seriously, what the hell?
Why are we getting these now that we're here?
You know, guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zoogles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dana, let alone up in Lenegis.
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Exterminate them? Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zoogles originally used to be living creatures native to Dana and Rena, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zoogles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First, people made Zoogles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans...
The real Renans were dying off on their own anyways.
If we
We're
had
just speeding
distinct
that up.
territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zoogles aren't so different after all.
This music does kind of fit the mood, doesn't it?
Okay. Poodle supposedly detects a thing.
They're called Helganquil. So it is kind of exterminating. Pretty exterminating, even. Super exterminatorish.
Wonder what the special owls are.
Exterminatorific?
Pretty sure Hoodle just comes out there. Renwell mentioned something about, oh, do you detect something, Poodle, when we were here?
So hasn't that happened every single time we've been here?
What, Hoodle coming out?
Yeah.
Yes, but now that special owls, I didn't know if something Like, I didn't know if anything extra was gonna happen.
Well, there is a fresh message from King Elf.
Is there now?
Why is it lit up?
The same reason it's always been lit up after.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Hmm.
We might just have to explore manually, like we always do.
Yep, we'll just have to come back to it later.
There's kind of two obvious approaches to it.
We finally made it.
And before you get absolutely no chance to play as well.
I wonder what Helganquil civilization was like at its zenith.
I can imagine that'd be something you'd take an interest in.
There's no question it must have been advanced, like none either world has ever seen. We could surely stand to learn a thing or two from such a people.
I get that you're itching to delve into its history, but we've got bigger fish to fry right now.
Put a pin in it, and you can do all the research you want when you retire.
I can think of worse things than a retirement dedicated to research. As for whether Rena is amenable to an aging specimen...
It's a little early to be giving it serious thought just yet.
A man can dream, though. A man can dream.
Oh, we didn't say there's anything wrong with dreaming.
In your case, Dohalim, dreams have a habit of spiraling into something else.
You'll need to stay with us for now, though. You're too helpful to let retire.
Why do I feel this is less of a compliment and more of an ultimatum?
Just a friendly suggestion.
Yeah, dough. Does that look like one of the head statues from Easter Island? You get a better look at the one behind you. What are you doing? Are you trying to chase your own tail?
There was a sparkly energy.
No.
In the footsteps. See?
Yes, I get it. Stop.
But it's pretty. I guess let's go.
For the last few minutes. There's a point to interact with over to the right.
It looks like it's a teleport pad. Let's check out here before we do that.
Let's check out this other teleport pad.
It seems strangely isolated.
That means Moai. Yes, that.
Looks like we've warped into that pit of astral energy.
Looks like this is the way to go, so... Retreat! Retreat!
A lot of convenience is too much convenience! It doesn't activate. Nothing.
It might be things we activate later as checkpoints. So we can easily return further in.
Yeah. Up for level 3 yet. Yeah.
I heard you like more exposition.
Well, there's no way to make encounters, I guess? Never mind.
Helganquil!
Guess they don't need their Red Woman disguises anymore.
Wait, can you understand us?
It's no use. We're not going to get through to them.
That's
So we really are
unfortunate.
being controlled. In that case, we've got no choice.
And I'm stuck in the fight.
Something off here? They're not pulling punches. We have no choice but to beat them at their own game. I'm not done!
Yeah, you got this. Scarlet Inferno.
Whee!
Oh man, after the past 2 hours, I forgot what fighting looked like in this game.
Why did I end up having the fight? Me ending up having the fight?
Yeah. I didn't want to hog all the playtime. You're doing fine.
Oh, I have an idea.
Hmm.
Maybe the other special thing is when you have the fire sword thing.
What do you mean, other special thing?
Alvin's other special attack.
It's hitting an enemy with 5 different skills before using it. It explains how you use it.
Oh.
Oh, we're about to go on break.
Alphen.
I can't forgive them for what they've done, but I hate killing them. They don't even know why they're fighting. How does that even make them any different from the Danon slaves?
Perhaps. However, if we don't make a choice, the guilt of not doing anything will be that much worse.
Yeah, I know. I hate for it to be like this. But if it happens again, you won't find me hesitating to act.
I wonder if we're going to get attacked again.
To execute an overlimit, hold 2 of the following buttons with a 5+ combo performed using separate arts. Compared to just hold 2 of the following.
Oh, okay.
If we
Well,
lose
yeah,
Hawk now,
break time.
This whole mission
Yep, break time. So, we'll be back in a few minutes with our favorite scaredy cat to follow our scaredy dog.
I'm not scaredy.
So follow our scaredy dog. Anyways, see you shortly, everybody. And we're back. This time, joined by our favorite fearful ferret.
Mission is over. We have to stay the course.
I thought there'd be more dirt and rocks and stuff underneath the hollowed ocean, but it's all artificial.
I would imagine they're remnants left behind by the Helganquil, seeing as there's little actual land remaining.
It's incredible. Do you think it stretches all the way down to the center of the planet?
Hey, these guys built Lenegis, remember? He probably did this in a weekend.
If they had the power to create things like this, did they really only use those immense capabilities to serve the Great Spirit? Or rather, was that the only use the Great Spirit let them use their capabilities for?
Great Spirit was probably uncreative.
Okay.
I was
We
waiting a
haven't
moment.
seen anyone here except Helganquil. Looks like this place really is their home planet.
The true citizens of Rena. What a shame that they have become nothing more than puppets to the Great Spirit. To think of the promise their accomplishments once held. They had the potential to be great indeed.
Do you think we could have got along with them? You know, if we had met under different circumstances. Like
all of us, you mean? I suppose it's difficult to say for sure. We don't even know if they would see us as being on an equal level with them or not.
I think we may have had the chance once, before the Renan Great Spirit came along and
Tube noodle.
changed everything.
You and Alphen
The
both
noodliest
share
of
an
tubes.
optimism. A strong willingness to believe in hope.
Thank you.
They're not going to hear your
Do you
thanks.
think that's foolish?
Thank
On
you.
the contrary, I should like to take a leaf from your book myself. In tragedy's aftermath, hope is all we have.
But wait, there's more.
Just look at the size of that thing. The Helganquil's technology certainly is impressive. And they don't seem to do things by halves either. In the past 300 years. Oh, even before that. Just how many people, Renan or Danon, do you think have ever seen this?
At least.
Regarding the past 3 centuries, at least.
At least
I'd say
8.
there's a good chance that we're the first. Also, while I get that it's impressive and all, I'm just amazed you're still standing around gawping at it at a time like this. Sometimes I wonder about your priorities.
I can understand where he's coming from. More to the point, does anyone know where it leads?
What do you mean where it leads? To the center of the planet, of course.
And that doesn't strike you as sounding just a little bit, oh, I don't know, far? There has to be a quicker way
Just
to get there,
jump.
right?
Yeah. With all this technology at their fingertips, it seems pretty unlikely that they'd make that kind of journey on foot.
You're not going
There
to take
must
fall
be some
damage.
kind of device somewhere. Let's see if we can figure out how to use it.
Borrow one of their contraptions? You're either brave or out of your mind.
If it works for them, there's no reason it wouldn't for us. Why make things harder for ourselves?
You know what he's like, Law. Once he gets an idea in his head, there's no talking him out of it.
Yeah, Law, you should know that. Oh. Well, gonna bump them just for the info. And then run! Eventually we'll escape. There we go. Don't want to attack the doggos. They're good boys.
I mean, he's been running for a while from any encounters with dog seagulls.
Oh.
Kind of part of hanging it over us.
I wonder how the Renans avoided being mind-controlled like the Helganquil.
Why would I kill the
Do you
doggos?
think it might have something to do with the fact that they were originally Danons?
I'd say it's likely. Which is pretty ironic when you think about it.
Ironic?
The Renans have committed grave injustices against the Danons. But it was all of their own volition, not because they were being controlled.
I mean...
Now, it turns out they themselves were once Danons too.
Which must mean that the root of their evil isn't the Great Spirit, but something inherent in all of us. Our free will.
Now hang on, though. It was that same free will that allowed Shion and Dohalim to choose to fight alongside us. Without it, we wouldn't have been able to beat hatred and forge all those connections we've made. Free will is what saved us, right?
Law's entirely right. In any case, it
I'm
certainly
not saying
can't
it's
hurt to
right,
look on
but
the
I'm not
bright
going to say
side
they
every
were
now and then.
completely uncontrolled as
Yeah.
well.
Where there's hope, there's a way.
What'd he say?
He said, without a doubt.
Like, the Helganquil still set a bunch of things in motion that would make the new
Is this a dead
Renans.
end?
It appears this whole room functions as an elevator. That apparatus there is likely what's used to control it.
Anyways, that would make the new Renans work towards how it is now. So, doesn't clear them by any means, but it's not completely uncontrolled.
What the? Where did they come from?
Less worry, more action. Concentrate. Insect.
Right now.
Should stay on the round.
Flying spree! What did they just instill?
Can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Lan doesn't like the pacing, does he?
He doesn't like how blunt some of them are. Guy V, you don't belong in this world.
Say no more.
Words. Things.
Ah, stuff.
Yep. I wanted to talk, but I have nothing to say. Which is the worst way to speak.
They just keep spawning.
Yep. I think it is the last fight. I think all the last defense. Words.
You need to be healed.
In an instant.
Illuminate the dark! Cover the top!
Ignite.
Stab. Sword Rain Alpha.
Words with friends.
Escape my judgment. I never miss. Illuminate. I'm out of ammo. All fogged up. Annihilation. I never miss.
How do you feel about Amphistelinus?
There are a few cases where it's like there's a bit more nuance than what they get into, but Ran out. Yeah, for the most part, I don't mind it. Can't break combo or... Yeah.
Thank you, Dohani.
Light burst forth.
Radiant citizen.
More? On your you're mine.
Yeah, break combo I can't use. Skull Overdrive.
And you need 5 different arts. At least.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to remember what some of these are. Okay. Nice. Congrats.
Hey, good job.
They keep going for down. This will end eventually, right?
Nope.
Damn it.
Just keep it up. You're almost done.
Seems like I'm finally almost done.
I think you're just taking care of stragglers.
Go down. Woo!
I think I'm getting stronger.
That was a decent chunk of experience. And items.
Even in such a harsh environment
Great
as
structure
this,
elevator, kit
there are still creatures here?
5547.
You think they're native to Rena? Or could they be Zoogle somehow?
Whatever they are, they're dangerous. Watch yourselves around them.
Door?
Door.
Door? Door?
Door.
You think that pit stretches all the way to Rena's core?
If that's true, then if we go down, we should find the Great Spirit at the bottom.
We could get there even faster if we simply jump down instead.
See?
You sound alarmingly serious when you say that.
See? Dohalim agrees. We should just jump.
I want to face them.
Run around them then.
I don't think we can run around them.
Lure them to one side and run around them.
If I end up in a fight, then I'm giving these drawers to you.
You just have to run. Especially if you end up in a fight with the doggos. The bees are still following. The bees are still...
The dogs weren't listening.
Oh, just have to run, because there's doggos.
Let's end this and get a bite to eat instead.
He refuses to kill.
I'm not gonna kill the doggos.
You're thinking that other things deserve to be killed more?
Oh wait, there was a ladder, wasn't there?
Yeah, I thought you were just getting what was in here.
Oh, here you go. This big doggo. I'm not gonna kill the doggos.
You think I'm going to kill the doggos?
I mean, you might kill the doggos. Run!
This one will be difficult to predict.
But not fighting today. Or tomorrow. Or yesterday. I'm good with not fighting at all.
I'm just not fighting the doggos. What do you expect when you bring the system's greatest coward into this, though? Ooh, canine vest.
Nice and tough.
Yep, we're selling it because we couldn't win it, earn it.
What? We earned it just fine. You ran away like a champ. Is that an item? You almost didn't liberate a crystal.
Crystal looks fine here. Chig Bungus. Nope.
These structures don't look like anything built by the Renans, or even what we saw in the Forbidden Zone.
Perhaps this is the true architectural style of the Helganquil. Or perhaps the opposite, given their situation.
You mean like how some
Did you not
places
want the
favor
item?
building stuff with stone, while others rely on wood?
That's an interesting way of looking at it. I'll have to inquire with Hevrek 35 about it sometime.
And
Is that a crystal in the corner? No.
it's a chest. Nope. Nope. It's not letting me get past.
Why not? Just go around it.
It's letting me past.
That one might not let you pass. Oh wait, what's behind? There's a path. If you turn the camera around.
I know.
Okay.
But...
Those thorns.
I'm not letting them get in our way.
Rah.
This is a trap.
No.
That equipment should come in handy.
Might want to restore CP.
Wait.
Nope, you got it.
I don't got this.
Totally got this.
Why are you forcing this on me?
Because you ignored the item in the previous room.
You're gonna be like that.
And you're ignoring the crystal in the corner of this room.
There.
Okay, that was one of the two I said. If you go get that other item, yeah, I'll do this fight.
Huh? Nope.
Don't tell me.
Not fighting. Not fighting. I'm not. Nope, nope, nope. I'm good. How come I didn't have point dialogue?
I would keep going past before anything comes back.
Right.
Okay, I guess I'll go do this fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said I would.
Mm-hmm. Iance seems to be in an aggressive mood.
Didn't get a good chance for it. Having to avoid its attacks. Oh.
It has really big wings,
Mm-hmm.
but still stays on the ground.
That was 5 different ones. Silly game.
Starting only 2. I think maybe we and they run away together, separately. Because, you know, running.
Mm-hmm. This one's not 5. I know this is just Scarlet Inferno.
Bestow thy mystic mercy. Here I come! Rising Warfare! It's in your hands now. Stay away from my friend! You're mine! Sword Rain Alpha! Dragon Swarm! Sword Rain Alpha! Time to let it rip!
Do it!
Come no in an instant! Impact Claw!
I'm pretty worn out.
Want to rest up for a bit?
Yay, we did it.
We should use those stat boosting items.
What's that boosting items?
Yeah, those.
Huh?
You never knew about them.
We probably should.
Yes.
Alright, who should get the HP? Probably Elfin?
Elfin or Cosera.
2 more there. Good. Bam. Alright, attack compared to elemental attack defense. Okay. Or do we just buff everything on Alphen?
Sure?
You saying sure, or am I sure?
Yeah, are you sure?
I mean, Alphen does seem like or one of the 2 more commonly used ones. We can throw elemental on either Xion or Rinwell.
Okay.
Defense. Law kind of needs the defense.
Yeah.
Shoring up weaknesses for some of these. Elemental attack. Which one do you want? Xion or Rinwell?
Renwell.
Oh. Elemental defense, I guess. Ooh. Oh god, Cosera is lower than Law's.
Oh.
Probably Cosera's then.
Yeah. Land needs more blood.
Not enough blood. Demand more carnage. Chamomile. Crit chance.
I think Dohalim is. Wait, it might be Law.
Here. For once, I'm handing control over for some inventory management stuff.
Doesn't have to be the same character.
Endurance reduces chance of crits.
Yeah.
And then stronger versions.
Lots of HP. HP has to go to Alphen because he has the HP training moves. Alphen?
Yeah, you're the one doing it now. Are we finally going to use the plus 10 levels as well?
Nope.
What's up?
Just throwing it on him. Alright.
Are we going to use 5 of the levels, though?
Nope.
No extra levels?
No extra levels.
Hey, look at that. We buffed our stats. Finally.
Yay.
Nah, I can stay.
Okay.
Huh. I'm surprised you were good with that.
I said that I was good leaving them where they were. Remember, if you have to fight, no running. Lion demands blood spill.
I mean,
Also, you were making a big deal about so much cutscenes.
I mean, I'm not gonna fight the doggos. Almost didn't see that. Why would I fight the doggos? The doggos is good boys.
I think they've been bad dogs.
You take that back.
I think they've been bad dogs.
You? take that back.
If there are no bad boys, can you really say there's any good boys?
Yes. Holy cloak. Canine vest. A vest worn by a legendary dog renowned for its dagger skills. While not intended to be worn by humans, it's probably safe to do so.
I think its name was Rapide.
So it wasn't vest made of canine, it was vest made for canine. Oh, they didn't just let us walk through.
Yeah, his name was Rapide. And he was actually a playable party member.
Wait, what?
You play as the dog. And if you cooked with him, then you got dog food. No matter what you cooked with him, you got dog food.
Huh. That's kind of adorable.
I think he's in the party since the beginning, too.
What game's that a reference to?
I think it's Tales of Vesperia. Are you and Jack going to jump straight into we ought to play Tales of Vesperia?
I'm not going to.
They don't really stagger, do they? It really feels like they don't stagger.
Yeah.
I can feel my precision improving.
Yay. Everyone's level 46. It's nice to finally be on Rena, though. Thought we were going to be going to Rena last stream, and it's like, nope. Random space station.
The renovations thing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a dancing mantis. It seems so happy.
Everyone's mostly topped off.
Look at the dancing mantis. It's so excited to be here.
Swing. And we get a lucky Bengal.
We got some good equipment.
I can't say its appearance is to my tastes, personally.
I'm so happy.
Aww.
We're fighting the happy mantis.
Don't be such a pessimist.
Punch the mantis.
Not a bug person, huh?
I remember when a mantis used to cause us a lot of issues.
I think that most of Cyberthus just looked forward to it. You know?
I was late trying to remember where Cosera was.
Drake has been dead, dog, though.
Oh no.
What are your thoughts?
that even if Drake's been a bad dog, or they've been a pretty good dragon. If you judge a dragon on its ability to dog, it's just not the way to go about it.
Dragons are just big dogs, though.
You have to hit 5 different arcs. Yes, I get that. Sometimes I don't have the time to actually do it, or I get interrupted. Like, I do know it needs to be 5 different arcs. That's why you will see me pull up the ultimate set as well.
Thank you for finishing it, though.
Like, I hit 5 there, it seemed like. Apparently not.
Wonder what the deal is. Oh. Wait. Rising Wyvern. What's that out there?
Hit Sword Rain Alpha, Double Demon, Fang, Dragon Swarm, Eternal Dragon Swarm, Megasonic Thrust, and then...
I just thought that Rising Wyvern was on 2 tabs.
Nope.
Oh.
Cool, I was wondering how long the slow-mo would last.
Well, looky here.
Anything over in this corner? Shiny! Should really slot in Elfin's light attacks? Nah, that'd make it easy. Don't I have light attacks slotted in? Not that button. I thought I did, huh? Oh well. Yeah, that would make it too easy though.
You're just being difficult.
Aren't I usually?
Yeah. Are the only light attacks the ones that are also electric? Because I thought that the symbol next to electric was the light attacks.
Is that off? Imagine judging a dog by its ability to dragon. Lightning and light are same element tails. Then why does it need 2 different symbols?
Water and ice have separate symbols. I guess there's the ice that are also water, and then the ice that aren't. What? What?
Water that's ice and water that's not ice.
Yeah.
Oh, well, see? There you go. That one doesn't have lightning.
Yeah.
No, does that one.
Status.
Silly game. That's a rising one. Yeah, fine. We'll be efficient, I guess.
It should be.
Oh, that's also a rising one. Oh well. Let's see.
He probably says. Oh, could be.
They were chasing from there. Okay, I have to go this way anyways. There's an item in that corner. You can't follow me into this room, silly. Go get the item, go get the item, go get the item. Don't fight the doggo. No. No. I don't wanna. You fight the doggo.
What? Are you talking to Lion or me?
No, I'm talking to you.
Why me?
I don't want to fight the doggo.
I don't want to fight. I'm not a fighter. You have to face it rather than dumping it on site with those.
Or we end the stream now and wait until next week.
You have been dumping it on site with those.
Yes. You all have fewer inhibitions in general about fighting doggo.
You've been forcing us to do your fights for you.
I don't want to fight doggo.
A really bad feeling about this.
If you flee, it's going to be there.
You have no evidence.
It did that last time.
You have no evidence.
You have to fight it if it's still there. Okay.
Get wrecked.
Is it just that one time? Is it that one time? Really? One time.
I was expecting it to still be there, I'm not gonna lie.
I feel betrayed.
I didn't have to fight the
betrayed.
doggo.
I've been betrayed.
Okay. I'm very happy with this set of events. Coward. I'm not a coward, I just don't want to kill doggo. You've seen me kill the other stuff. Oh man, there's an item behind here. Oh, I wanted the item before fighting.
This one will be difficult to predict. Another incantation ruined.
That button. Hey, it actually worked.
He seems to have had a bit of a burning passion this time.
Thanks for the healing. Watch yourself, okay? Yeah.
Huh. The bees are light.
You too.
It also appears I am a coward. I am not nearly as violent as he needs me to be. You'll have to be violent for him.
What's up?
You'll be the vehicle of everything dying. A lot. Very scarily.
I don't see the message yet.
Well, he said coward, all shall perish.
Oh.
I'm definitely not going to be the one to do all the killing.
I don't want to do all the killing. I don't...
You have fewer inhibitions. And turning that one right back at you.
You have fewer inhibitions in general.
I have a lot of inhibitions. I actually don't know what you're talking about.
That you all in general.
Oh, like Cyberthos.
Yes. It's you all. Which is what I said earlier.
Bestow thy mystic mercy.
This one's mine.
He refuses to kill the wolves. He does refuse to kill the wolves.
Yeah, why would I kill the doggos?
Because for a while you had no problems killing doggos.
No, that was Cyberthos forcing me to.
He casually killed many doggos.
Nope. Only the ones I had to fight. And if I didn't have to fight it, didn't kill it.
You're just doing it for the memes. I'm onto you.
It was a close thing.
Elemental cape. First. Nope. Yes. Explosive gunslinger Shion. That, then that, and that. All right. Cloak, cape. There we go. So that's everyone recently upgraded, I think, equipment-wise.
Equipment.
Let me take a look at it.
That's probably where we're going.
Yep.
Got this.
You do got this.
What? I wasn't taunting you.
Done the past few fights.
I'm also not much of a fighter.
No, you're great at it.
What? You do know it's Cosera fronting, right?
Yes.
You're trolling.
I would never.
He's trolling.
Huh. Only neutral and wind in the air.
I don't rampage.
But it looks like a good boy.
That is not even remotely a canine.
No, but like I just like looking around. Like, oh, it's kind of adorable. Damn it, I'm infected. I'm infected by Iance.
Is it curable?
I don't know.
Where did this idea come from? That I'm very destructive.
Have you seen yourself in a mech?
I'm fine.
Imagine Alphin's armor as a power suit.
Yeah, but that's a power suit, not a mech.
Power suit is just babby mech.
It's like a convergent evolution kind of a thing. Is that a new one?
No.
I thought he did another one.
We just haven't seen it in ages. She just learned a new... Oh, she learned how to summon meteors.
Sounds legit.
She's a proper mage now.
She was already a mage.
She's a proper mage now. And she can summon meteors. That's proper magistry.
Have others been talking about me being in mechs?
There is a very definite attitude change when you're in a mech.
Huh?
Including when you're in a mech in the mindscape.
Like how?
You are much more confident and willing to, you know, fight stuff. By getting in a mental mech.
Saren thinks I'm lovely in a mech.
I don't know if I'd say nothing.
Fair, she probably thinks you're lovely in or out of a mech.
Yes, she agrees. She's biased. Well, I was to ask the others.
Others, plural.
She's another person that's very in range for me.
Others, plural.
I'll have to get to contacting them.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it. Sleep now.
Remember where it was this time?
You bonked the good boy. You bonked it.
Well, you're not gonna bonk it. Get in your mat. It's almost time for the end of stream anyways.
I bet I keep saying phrasing.
She's thinking boinking, not bonking.
Piece of same difference.
No.
I'm not up for talking about the details of this. It is already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of crazy. Well, just want to say in advance, thanks for coming, everyone.
Yeah, it's been fun.
This has been a session.
It's been enjoyable avoiding the doggos whenever possible.
You want to go back?
Oh, yes, first.
Animal intuition, perhaps?
Am I thinking the right character?
Oh, well, this is the best cliffhanger spot. Does you see what's right over there?
Yep.
So, we heal,
I'm checking if I'm thinking the right character.
we save, and we leave it for next week.
I don't think it's that far of a difference, even if it is.
With that, hope you all have enjoyed us running around on Rena, this dead world.
It's quite lively.
I don't know if we'll be finishing next stream, next week in general, or if it'll be even longer than that. So next week might be the end of it. Might not be. We'll have to see.
We have to see if we're doing the DLC.
But I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the time zone. Hope to
I will
see.
now run away.
Hope to see you all Saturday for Rogue Galaxy. And hope you all have a wonderful... Wait, I said that one already. Crap. What else was I going to say? Good time zone. See you Saturday. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, right. I remembered what it was. I hope